So turn over and lie on your back and have a good rest now. And let your legs lie long and notice how your heels connect with the floor behind you. Now in swimming, we actually kick our legs up to the surface of the water. So lying in a room like this, if the bottom of the pool or the ocean floor was the ceiling above you, you're actually going to be using your legs down into the floor. So can you find a way that just with your right foot, take the right leg and roll the leg as a whole to find out the amount of movement that's in the hip socket. So roll the leg in and out on the right. So and notice that the pelvis stays still and just the leg bone rolls. So you're looking for a movement that is fairly isolated. And then roll the other leg and see which leg feels more comfortable. So sometimes one hip feels a little freer than the other one. You got one freer, Joe, than the other?
My right's freer, because I got a damaged left knee, I think so.
Okay.
My left's free.
So I'm not giving you much time in this to take care of yourselves either. So whenever you need to, in this kicking, bring your spine out of being extended, bring your knees up onto your chest and curl them up the top. And we do that in the pool all the time.
So what we're looking at is where, that's the bottom of the pool up there.
Yes, yes. So now with your right leg, can you press your right heel down into the floor a little bit? So find a place where when you press the right heel down, it connects with your body. So you might try having the whole leg out a little bit or in a little bit closer to the middle. Find a place where when you push down, you can feel that travels through your spine and connects with the rest of you. So you're pressing your heel down into the floor and just feeling a place where your spine notices that movement.
Legs straight?
Your legs straight, yeah. And now, having found that position, can you lengthen the top of your foot so that your toes become longer, rather like a ballet dancer pointing her toes? Yes, and do that movement, just release the movement and then point it again. So
just the one leg, right?
Yeah, just the one leg. So the top of the foot is actually becoming a continuation of the rest of your leg. So I'm just going to come down to here, Joe, so that you can feel, so rest there, so that when your toes lengthen, this part of the toes there lengthens down that way. So this toe softens. This one here. Feel how it lifts up?
Yep.
Can you let it go?
I see, yeah.
That's it there. So that's a continuation of the whole top of the foot. So even the toes become a continuation of the top of the foot there. And just feel how we're creating that long surface to become fish-like, cartilage-like. Now also notice, as you repeat this movement back and forward, can you now feel that the heel can come up underneath you as well? So as well as the top surface of your foot lengthening there, the heel underneath comes up towards your knee, a tiny bit. So there's just a little bit of a sense of that movement. That's it. Now as the heel comes up underneath you, you might notice that your knee softens. So what we're after here is that as the knee softens, it becomes less of two joints between your top of your leg and the bottom of your leg. And the knee, almost in this soft continuation of the foot, becomes cartilage-like, as if the whole leg could bend. Yeah, it's fantastic. Ideas. So you're looking for the connection with the rest of your body, and then how to lengthen the top of the foot so that it becomes a continuation of the skin down the front of your foot. So in the water we're looking for a way that the legs actually ride with the flow of the water moving underneath our bodies. So we need to have no impedance from our feet. They need to be long and at one with the water. So now on the other foot you're looking at how the heel the top of the foot and the toes point and lengthen to become a continuation. And then that the heel can come up underneath you, and as the heel comes up, that the knee can soften and bring this cartilage type quality into the legs. And now pause and rest for a moment. And now this time we're going to put the right leg and then the left leg in a kind of slow walking rhythm. So right leg lengthening, left leg lengthening. And the feet stay long and fairly close to the floor, but you're just sensing the change in the shape of the leg. So that basically the toe is, and the foot is lengthening, and the knees will just soften rather than bend. So they might only bend a couple of inches. A very small movement. Yep. And then Joe, I'm just going to get you to rest there and feel that lengthening come through to the pelvis. So this movement actually of this lengthening as the knees soften a little here actually is a movement that comes into the hips and into the pelvis and into the whole body.
I like that.
Yeah. So it'll actually be a sense of lengthening all of one side and then the other. And now pause, bring your knees up onto your chest and just round your lumbar spine, have a rest for a moment. With your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor now, and your elbows on the floor and your hands pointing towards the ceiling or the bottom of the pool. Can you push gently through your right foot and then your left foot so that you can feel that the pelvis rocks from side to side? So by pushing into the floor, you're using that as a way to rock your pelvis from side to side.
Just small rocks.
Yeah, yep. Or you can try big ones to see what that feels like and find one that feels comfortable for you. And pause there. Now this time when you press with your right foot, can you also press with your right elbow? And then your left foot and your left elbow. And find a rhythm that is rather like walking, and you'll actually be able to feel that this is the organisation of the torso in walking. And imagine that you could actually be using the fronts of your feet rather than the whole of your foot.
So the balls of your feet.
Yes, and your toes. Almost as if you had pointed toes. And then let your legs lie long again and continue that same movement, but without your knees bent. So your legs will be long.
And point toes?
Yes, you can point your toes and continue that same movement. Imagine that you might be some kind of creature that's swimming along in the water with this. So now your legs are very much part of this movement through your trunk rather than just trailing. And leave it. Bend your knees up if you need to, or just have a rest on the floor and have a sense of how you're lying on the floor at the moment. And imagine that you're lying in water. It's a beautiful temperature, a glorious day, and you're on your favourite stretch of water near the beach. And just feel how your body would be floating. The parts of you that would be, the parts of your body that have the quality of being very at one with the water, and perhaps some of the parts that might not be so fluid. Imagine that you might be some kind of a fish type of organism in the water. And feel what shape of a fish you would be, and the quality of those cartilaginous bones that fish have, so that they can bend and mould with the water.
So,
It's time to get up. It's time to get up. And then when you're ready, you can take on human bones and joints and come slowly up to standing, and we'll go in and play in the water. This lesson that you have just done is a short, brief overview of an awareness through movement lesson. To do a full awareness through movement lesson, I would strongly recommend that you download Imaginary Flippers. It takes about 40 minutes. It's lots of very specific movements done slowly and over a longer period of time, so that you can really take on the change of imagery that's required and feel a lot more of the nuances of what's needed to be fish-like in the water. Many people have found this lesson extremely effective for changing their kicking.